Hello again, XDA Developer TV. If you couldn't tell from the title of this video, today we're going to be rooting the LG G3. And a big thanks need to go out to our friends over at GSM Nation who sent this G3 over to us to root and review and whatever else we decide to do with it. If you're interested in picking up the G3, of course you can head on over to GSM Nation. The link to do that will be down in the video description. Now first and foremost, I should mention there are at least two methods to root the G3. First and foremost, the easiest way to do it, the most obvious way currently, is to use TowelRoot. It's one click, basically you go to the website, you download an APK, you install it, you run it, you're done. That's not the way I'm going to show you because that would be a little too simple, right? So this method is called TowelRoot. If you've seen it before, awesome. Otherwise, basically what you're going to do, you set up Adb on your machine, you connect it to your device, you run a couple of commands, and you're done again. So before you do anything, you'll have to run over to the forum and download a copy of TowelRoot. It comes with a shell script that'll allow you to do most of the work without having to type any commands, but I'm going to type the commands just because I want to. And of course, as usual, you need to make sure to have the drivers set up on your system if you're running a Windows machine, or just have your Linux machine set up to connect to it over Adb. I will try to provide a link to the drivers you can use to set up on a Windows machine to get it working on your machine as well. But basically what you're going to do, as you can see here, I'm going to take a USB cable, plug into the device here at the bottom. There we go. Then we will run Adb devices on the desktop just to ensure that we have Adb running appropriately. You see it says allow USB debugging. Yes, we're going to allow debugging. Now if I run it again, it says I have an authorized device. So now at this point, I'm going to reboot into recovery. There's technically a way to do this using the hardware keys, but when I tried, I just ended up in this menu that was all in Korean because, as you know, I'm using the Korean G3 here. But if you just type Adb Reboot Recovery and then hit enter, you'll see here in just a second, flashes back. There we go, comes up LG. Does its little thing, and then you can probably not see that because it's little teeny tiny text, but we got a bunch of options like Reboot System, apply an update from the external SD card, apply update from cache, and apply update from Adb. That's the one we're going to want to select, so I'll scroll down to it and hit the power button. There we go. It says now send the package you want to using Adb sideload file name. Alright, and at this point, all we have to do is hopefully type in Adb sideload and then the zip file that's going to be used. In this case, it was called kk_root.zip. So I'm going to hit that. Sending sideload. It's now saying it's verifying the update package. And again, teeny tiny text, you probably won't be able to see it. But it does say in pretty big text there, .root, fin, reboot, install from Adb complete. So now if I hit Reboot System, we'll see LG logo. Here in just a few seconds, we should be back inside the OS. Interestingly enough there, it said upgrading G apps. Yeah, I didn't actually do any upgrades, but I suppose we'll just see what happens. And now that everything's come back up appropriately, I can go into the apps list, and SuperSU has been installed as a part of all of this. So if I go ahead and open that up, and I'm hoping you can see all this appropriately. Focusing is going to be a little difficult because I can't see the screen very well. I say no thanks, don't want that right now because I'm following him everywhere already. But if I go to settings, it says enable superuser. Superuser is enabled. And as you can hopefully see here, I have ES File Explorer open. I have the Root Explorer option here. If I hit OK, Root Explorer on, I have a super user request there, so I can grant it. That means device is rooted, everything is working appropriately. That was pretty quick and painless, to be entirely honest. There is an even simpler way. Of course, there's a batch script or a shell script inside of the download that you can get from the forum. So you just run that as long as you have Adb set up and you're able to connect to your device. Should work with no problems. Or of course, as I mentioned before, you can use TowelRoot if you want to do it the easy way, but there's, good chance that TowelRoot will end up being fixed at some point in the future, so TowelRoot may continue to work then. You've got two options for the time being. So if this works for you, awesome. Let us know down in the comments. But that's going to be about all from me for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.